Millions of people are incredibly worried at the moment. Struggling families and pensioners have already seen inflation go up on food and energy and fuel. Now they're worried that their mortgages are going to go through the roof and really create severe hardship. And that's all because of what the Conservative government has just done. So I'm afraid John Redwood was incredibly complacent. What we need to see is some leadership from this government. Where is the Prime Minister? Where is the Chancellor? Are they hiding? We need them out here reassuring people who are deeply worried, and also reassuring the markets. If they have got some plan, let's hear it. At the moment, it looks like a total disaster for our country.
So the first dialogue should be with the public via the House of Commons.
Absolutely. That's why Liberal Democrats have been clear. Recall Parliament, give the Prime Minister and the Chancellor the opportunity to tell us what is this great plan they've got. Or if they haven't got one, Liberal Democrats don't think they've got one, they've not had a plan for a long time, they need to reverse the damage that they've just done. And that's what Liberal Democrats would do. We would not cut the 45p rate. We would not take the cap off bankers' bonuses. We would not cut corporation tax. We would do instead something we've been calling for a year, a windfall tax on the unexpected huge profits of the oil and gas companies. That would mean that we could help people far more who are struggling at the moment, and we wouldn't have to borrow so recklessly, which is forcing up interest rates and will hit people with higher mortgages. There is a real alternative plan that Liberal Democrats have been arguing for some time. I'm afraid the government either don't get it or don't care. They're putting forward an ideological agenda, not a plan, and it's millions of struggling families who will suffer if they don't change.
But they say that the plans that have been put forward in the past haven't worked, that they need to do something big and bold to really shake up the economy, to boost economic growth. I mean, do you believe, you're clearly critical, I beg your pardon, of what they're doing, but do you believe that there is a possibility that their plan could work?
No, it won't work. And no one in the world seems to think it will work. People in our country don't, the IMF doesn't, international markets don't. This is a failed proposal from the Conservatives. And it is true, one thing I will agree with them, their policies over the last 10 years haven't worked. It's only when Liberal Democrats have had ideas like investing in the renewable energy, where we've seen investment in our economy, creating jobs across our country. Those are the sorts of plans that we need. And, there is an alternative plan. It's not the Conservative one. Liberal Democrats have a whole set of ideas to make our country more competitive and to help people and businesses who are struggling. We've been putting them forward. I just wish the Conservatives would listen.
What do you want to see from the Bank of England at this point, then?
Well, the Bank of England's been given the toughest job by the government because they have to deal with the failures of the Conservatives. Because the Conservatives are behaving so recklessly, so irresponsibly, with unfunded tax cuts for the wealthy, which will be paid for by ordinary taxpayers in due course, by the way. They're leaving the job of tackling inflation just to the Bank of England. The government isn't playing its part. It's making it worse for the Bank of England. But when the Bank of England looks like it's going to have to puts up interest rates, people should be clear that it's the fault of the Conservative government.
Do you think that investors are going to look at these tax cuts and think there are opportunities here, though, because, that is what the government is suggesting, that investors will now look at the UK and say, this is somewhere where we could do more business?
Investors are doing the reverse. That's why they're selling the pound. They don't want to buy the pound. They're not believing that this Conservative government is doing the right thing for the future. The real worry is, rather than increasing growth and increasing investment, the reverse will happen. The
government thinks that the situation will stabilise, that this is an immediate knee-jerk, nervous reaction, that the situation will stabilise. Do you think there is a possibility that it will?
Well, I hope it does. I'm a patriot. I believe in our country. I want our country to do well. But my worry is we have a government who doesn't know what it's doing. They've lost control of the economy. And let's hope it stabilises. But even if it does, that doesn't mean they've got the right policies, because we need to see more investment. We also need to see real help for people. I mean, the real worry is this is the facts. Struggling families out there, millions of them, are facing higher energy costs, going up by £500. The government haven't capped it. It's going up by £500 next week.
There's also around £400 energy bill discount as well, isn't there?
Yeah, but hold on. Energy bills went up. The cap went up by £700 in April. The Conservatives are allowing it to go up by another £500 in October. So people's energy and heating bills this winter will be twice what they were last year. And in the meantime, they're giving tax cuts for the wealthiest 1% in our country. It is a total disgrace. It is not just going to harm our economy, it's going to make our society less fair. I think this Conservative government doesn't get it and doesn't care. And I think that's a disgrace. The British people deserve strong leadership. They deserve leadership that cares about them and their families and their communities. And on the Conservatives, we're not getting that.